Count you down. 3, 2, 1, 0.
And we're live. Hello, Internet. I'm BSSDRVN, and this is Portal 2. This is probably a game that you've played before. If you haven't, maybe your friend has, but it's a wildly popular Valve 2011 game. I'm gonna get right into Container Ride so we can waste as little time as we can here. So I'm gonna give it time in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1, and 0. So, this is Portal 2. This is Container Ride. Normally there's a bit of a quality of life thing that we do end up skipping here. It's in Portal, it's like vault save, if you know about that. Really what it is, you start your live split at 4 minutes 41:13 at the end of Container Ride, because it is just that long of a cutscene. But in marathons, I do like to do them, so it gives me a chance to explain everything that's going on comprehensively. I believe it is worth mentioning, if you in the chat have questions, if you are watching the stream and are wondering about what on earth I'm doing, or you think there's something I didn't explain, please let me know. I'm not watching the chat attentively, but I'm sure someone is.
You suspect staring at art has not provided the required intellectual sustenance. Reflect briefly on this.
Absolutely. I'll be sure to let you know if there's anything that comes up.
Sure. Alright, thank you for that. And then I'll also let you know about donations and stuff.
Now, please return to your bed.
So, now that we've returned to our bed, we have a little change of scenery. This is now the room that we're living in. Wheatley's gonna come out of this door and surprise us, our little robot friend that just unfortunately talks at us at every available turn. But it does give me some time after this to explain precisely what I'm doing here. So the first thing that you'll notice me doing, like, kind of a lot, is bunny hopping. If you don't know what bunny hopping is, here it is concisely explained. When you walk in a straight line, that's slow. I mean, you get places, but you're not going anywhere fast, you know? If you compare the time it took me to go all the way across to bunny hopping, which I'll do after this because there is a little bit of interactivity in this cutscene.
Most test subjects do experience some cognitive deterioration after a few months in suspension. Now, you've been under for quite a lot longer, and it's not out of the question that you might have a very minor case of serious brain damage.
The writing in this game is impeccable. If you haven't played it, please do. It's on sale on Steam every now and again for like $1.
To being told that you've got brain damage. Do you understand what I'm saying at all? Does any of this make any sense? Just tell me, just say yes.
Okay. Stephen Merchant as Wheatley, also incredible.
But never mind, say apple. Apple.
Right, so that's just going to begin this gigantic cutscene where I can show you everything that I'm doing. So we saw walking across this room in a straight line. The second step before bunny hopping is if you walk straight and you AD spam, that's a little faster. A little bit of a lack of control because the room is moving, but you can notice it's a little bit faster. Now, that's because when we turn, our speed can actually go above 175. It's really useful in the later sections of the game when we can't jump for reasons that you'll find out about. But if I bunny hop across here, I got across that in like a second, like compared to just walking. And putting those two next to each other, it's incredible how much of a difference there is. Now, that's about bunny hopping. Adding to that, if you look at movement, what I'm going to talk about is a wall strafe. If you are looking against a wall, like this, and you push against it, if you look at just the right angle, you can cap your speed at about 260 odd. And if you're looking away from it and you're jumping like a bunny hop, you can actually gain speed for as long as there is that straight section. One more thing, this game is tick rated, not frame rated, which is just the, frames are in regular games, ticks are in source games. It's 60 ticks a second, so it's literally the same thing. It is interesting to note, there was for the lack of differences between Super Monkey Ball Deluxe in Super Monkey Ball 2 and Super Monkey Ball 2, Portal and Portal 2 are not the same game. Mostly because of the fact that they were made 4 years apart, but also because when Portal came out, Valve didn't, at least in my opinion, properly realize the scope of the game series. So this is the bottom part of Container Ride. I'm gonna go for arguably the most important strat here. It's a toilet swoosh. If you don't get it, you have to reset. You gotta get the clipboard in the toilet. Oh, it almost went in there.
These pre-recorded messages will provide instructional and motivational support so that science can still be done, even in the event of environmental, social, economic, or structural collapse. The portal will open and emergency testing will begin in 3, 2, 1.
And then we start the game. The first 2 maps here are just a lot of bunny hopping in general, and right off the bat here, there's a little bit of a dialogue skip right here.
Even in a dire emergency. Please note the incandescent particle field.
And this elevator, I won't be doing this, but in future elevators, you will notice me waiting at the elevator. This is a lot like frame rules in Super Mario Brothers, if you know anything about those. Imagine there's a bus, right? And it checks to see how, like, the elevator is the bus, really, but the game only checks to see whether or not the elevator is past a dialogue queue every so often, and so we time the dialogue entrances so that we waste the least possible amount of time in elevators. So right here, you'll see me just kind of waiting in front of this elevator.
Is unsupervised. Before re-entering a relaxation vault at the conclusion of testing, please take a moment to write down the results of your test.
And you'll go in, and I'll go in at some specific time. That's an okay time for donations, although it is worth mentioning that it does require a bit of silence.
If the Earth is currently governed by a manner of Animal King, Sentient Cloud, or other governing bodies,
so this is Portal Gun. It's where you get the Portal Gun. Sorry, what'd you say?
No donations yet anyway, so continue.
Very cool. Do donate. Great charity, great cause. That was a little iffy. So that was another dialogue skip. You'll notice the announcer talked for about 0.2 of a second, and then gave the reins to Wheatley. That saves about 10 seconds over just casually going through the little window there. We're gonna go here into Smooth Jazz, where anyone in chat can tell me the name of the song. I'll give them like 5 bits or something. But you might also recognize it as Chamber 4 from Portal 1. And this is the first major trick of the game. This is a portal clip. When you place a portal, there's a little box around it. And like you saw right there, that box, if it's in close contact with one object, say in our case a door, it loses collision with that object loses collision with certain other objects, say in our case a cube. So it's very fun to do. It looks cool and everything, but this might be even cooler to look at. What I'm about to do is what's called a portal stand. You stand in the portal and you go backwards, and I'm going to do that with myself, and then I'm going to do it with this cube over here that's not exactly cooperating with me. And just fell out of the portal. The good news is that even if you screw up this strat, you do the exact same thing in the next map.
Remind you that although circumstances may appear bleak, you are not alone. All Aperture Science personality constructs will remain functional in apocalyptic, low-power environments of as few as 1.1 volts.
And I think it's one of the only groups of 2 maps that requires you to do the same thing twice in a row. I mean, it doesn't require you to, but it's certainly the fastest way to do it. I'm just going to go to the end here. I'm going to do another portal stand, and then I'm going to do an infinitely easier portal stand, but apparently it's just not working out on the cube side for me.
Employee who has discovered this facility amid the ruins of civilization. Welcome. And remember, testing is the future, and the future starts with...
And this is the second very important glitch in this game. That is called a button glitch. You'll note I didn't go and get the cubes on the opposite side of the level. That's kind of important for solving a level, but we can do what's called a button glitch. I'll explain it after dialogue.
In such a way that the future should not start with you. Please return to your primitive tribe.
A button glitch is when the button's activated for only one tick, and so the game figures, it's just on. And so you don't need a cube. That happens later in the game in Chapter 3, and then also in Chapter 6 and maybe 7 if you feel like it. But this is maybe one of the coolest strats I know about. Normally in the regular game, you'd go into that section currently to my left, where Wheatley would just kind of talk at you for about a minute. But this is a super precise, you guys probably know it as sub-pixel precise shot through this door, because there's actually a gap in the top. And so we just saved about a minute to a minute 10 over regular playing, and even 30 to 45 seconds over the previous fast strat. Yep, that shot through the door, since this is a giant cutscene, I can go more into detail on it. That was found by Kurzihau, Route Extraordinaire, Blue Man. If you find him, you can talk to him, but you can't find him very well. But he's infinitely useful to the Portal 2 community. You'll hear his name pop up every now and again, and by every now and again, I mean every couple of maps when you talk about route credit. And so he's quite a character for our routing community. Shout outs to Kurzihau. Now that we've come in here, this is a 2.5 minute long cutscene, so if you have anything to say, if you have any questions, this is spectacular to talk about it.
Yeah, absolutely. No questions come through the chat just yet, but I always have stuff to plug. First, let's plug this incentive, right? We're still about halfway away from the song for this incentive, so let's get another $40 in there. I really want to see Bass-Driven sing here, so let's go ahead and do that. We also have our next bonus run up, which is Tony Hawk's Underground 2 Story Easy by Big Law. We're part of the way there as well. We crushed meeting our first bonus game, so let's go ahead and crush meeting the second one too.
Alright, so this run is now invalidated because I didn't get Hoopy. I kid, of course, but Hoopy is right here. This is Hoopy the Hoop. You might have noticed Hoopy the Hoop falling from the sky after the events of Portal 1. This, of course, is the revival of GLaDOS, the operating system that runs the whole facility, and so Hoopy is a faithful throughout the series. And through everything. When I don't get Hoopy, I like to shoot through these walls that aren't actually walls. You can just shoot right through them, including you can also shoot through GLaDOS. There's not much you can shoot up here. I wouldn't want to, but I like to shoot over here so you see it when you get dropped into the fire tube at the end.
You did what? Oh no! No! Oh no! No!
Okay, look, we both said a lot of things that you're going to regret. But I think we can put our differences behind us.
I can go ahead and plug one more thing if we still have the time.
You sure do.
Alright. Of course, I always just love to plug why we're all here, right? So, Able Gamers. Able Gamers' mission is to create opportunities that enable play in order to combat social isolation, foster inclusive communities, and improve the quality of life for people with disabilities. They accomplish this by helping making games more accessible with assistance from their experts and cutting-edge technology. Able Gamers is only able to help others when generous people like you give donations, large or small, to enable us to keep giving controllers to people in need. 94% of every dollar donated to Able Gamers goes directly towards helping support gamers with disabilities, which is one of the best ratios in the world, according to Charity Navigator. To donate, go to speedrun.com/MWSF2020/donate, type !donate in the chat, or just pop underneath this window and you will find a link.
Very cool. This right here, you'll notice me crouching around this corner. Normally, you wouldn't do that in a playthrough, in a casual playthrough, but I just grabbed that portal gun early. Saves about 8 to 9 seconds if you do it fast. And I did do it kind of fast. Also important is you can just jump on top of these, like, pieces of debris. But getting that portal gun early allows us to get a faster dialogue if we jump over those panels. It also enables us to get an even faster dialogue.
For the rest of your life. After that, who knows?
And that faster dialogue saves you 45 to 50 seconds over a regular playthrough. Now this is chapter 2, it's where the fun really starts. You notice it right here, where, did I forget to make a save?
Oh good. That's
I did.
Alright.
Now we're gonna do some slick tricks here,
Which involves deadly. Not bad.
also known as press left.
How good you are at
Unfortunately, that's not the fastest way you could do it, but it slipped my mind to make a save. Of course, you could do it the default route. Kersey Howe again made the speedrun mod for Portal 2. Not as widely run as the Portal 2 base game, but it is certainly an optimized version of the Portal 2 base game. For context, this is, like, the estimate on screen right now is 1 hour 20, and our speedrun mod tournament over on Speed Gaming just finished up, and world record is, I believe, a 29 something. I forget what time it is, but I think it's M Sushi's record. Someone in chat can probably correct me on that. That being said, if I have any M Sushi subscribers, hit that M Sushi S to show you're there.
Congratulations. Not on the test.
We did have one question in the chat, if you have a second to answer it.
Go nuts, and then I'll explain what I just did.
Alright, sounds good. Very simple question, but Tempest Mark 1000 asks, what is the best part about running Portal 2?
The best part about running Portal 2? The community, I gotta say. And I'm not just, like, being cheesy or anything, like, it's just the community. It's a great place to watch streams, it's a great place to come on if you're just bored at night. And it's a game that almost everyone has in their Steam library, just, like, beaten up somewhere. It's really cool. So what I'm doing here is a super reportal. I'm missing my last portal, and I'm kind of making it look bad. But this is kind of an extension of what we were talking about earlier with the portal stand. When you do a portal stand, the reason we need to walk backwards into that portal is because we get a 200 speed boost every time we are in a portal that's in the wall. This is the game's way of letting us know that you're not actually supposed to be in the wall, but we can utilize that and stack them together in a way where right there you see me stacking 3 super reportals and then one on the opposite side and then jumping across. The way I did it there, unfortunately, was about as slow as the default route because I missed it a couple times, but it's really interesting, and we'll see a large-scale super reportal in Chapter 7, but we'll talk about that when we get there, and a smaller-scale super reportal when we get to Pit Flings.
It's too expensive to pump this far down.
Now, you just saw me put the camera on the button. The camera is still kind of hanging out there, but you also notice that this dialogue started earlier, and you'll notice that this dialogue is still going.
I thought that was interesting.
And so if you put the cube on the button, you would have an exceptionally long dialogue to have to wait. The reason that works is because the button only looks for an object on top of it, but it's only that button. No other buttons in the game really do that, where it, like, finds a camera and decides, oh, I'm gonna start the dialogue.
By myself.
And I just think that's neat. This is Trust Fling. Pretty rudimentary map, little bit of optimization. Jump over this gap, press this button.
Oh, sorry. I I'm still cleaning
Go all the way
up
back,
test
and that
tubes.
portal shot is really the only
Sometimes there's
important
still
part. The reason
trash
we're
in the
down
bin,
here
standing
is because
around, smelling
if you just
booze.
shoot that blue portal right away, sometimes this garbage doesn't actually hit the button, and if you reshoot the portal, it does 100% of the time. Now this is a very long dialogue, but due to the way elevators are handling dialogue, there's a final box at the end of each elevator shaft where once that elevator hits it, the level's done, regardless of where the dialogue is. So you just notice that dialogue get cut off by a little bit, and so it's very interesting to see how it all plays out. This is Pit Flings, where hopefully I'll get a cool reportal shot off, and if I don't, then I don't, but I hope I do. I didn't shoot it far enough away. This is not working. Alright, we'll stick to the button glitch then, I guess. Normally you get 5 super reportals and you would go straight up to the exit. It looks really cool. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to pull that off today, so you'll have to watch world record holder Can't Even's run of the game in 58:39.
Cannot smuggle test objects out of the test area. This one is broken. Don't take anything with you.
And after Pit Flings comes Fizzler intro, if I'm not mistaken. No, it isn't. Oh, it is Fizzler intro.
Test involves emancipation grills. Remember, I told you.
Now this is maybe one of the simplest tests in the game, but it has its own little quirk like normal. This elevator, you just go into it, and the box is like right down there, so the level just ends. It has dialogue, it just doesn't check to see if it's there. And then this is something. This is what's called double dialogue skip. If I only get one, that's a shame. Where I did just get one, that's what I like to call getting hmmed. There we got two. So you seem to have defeated this low-bearing capacity. Normally we'd wait and go up and down twice on this, and wait for the faith plate to be broken in the middle of those two dialogues. The reason that it works is because there's 2 triggers in the ceiling that are dedicated to playing those dialogues and triggering the faith plate. And so if you enter the trigger, right, and then crouch, and then you enter it again, because you crouched, and so your hitbox is smaller. And then after you leave that hitbox, you can uncrouch and hit it one more time, and it works out just spectacularly. This is Ricochet. It's, I think, my favorite map of the game, and I could not explain to you why. But the strat here is what we like to call panel fling. Now, it's kind of self-explanatory, you fling on a panel. But I think it's just so made of coincidences. Oh, I didn't press E hard enough. It's so full of coincidences that it just works. You'll see here, we're gonna have the cube cross that laser. We're gonna get launched off of this panel, and we're gonna be in just the right spot for it to work out just perfectly. Again, this is not being consistent for me. And this time I got it, but I didn't press E hard enough.
To the break room, and I'll tell you about the time I saw a deer again.
We're gonna have to do this. Like, I want to show off the cool route.
And I'll tell you about the time I saw a deer.
And also because the only alternative to this is default route. See, there we are. And then you do a cube throw, and it's absolutely swag.
That's the test. I didn't see the dare today.
Payoff not worth for missing it 6 times, but worth for missing it like
More
twice.
test subjects than I'll ever need.
So this is bridge intro. We're getting introduced to the hard light bridges here. Again, pretty rudimentary map. You can die kind of a lot in here if you're not careful. But I don't run it very carefully. Like, I run it more carefully than some runners, but you just... That's interesting.
Excellent. You're a predator.
It ends up
and these
all the way
tests
over here.
are
This is
your
another
prey.
dialogue map.
Speaking of which, I was researching sharks for an upcoming test. Do you know who else murders people who are only trying to help them? Did you guess sharks? Because that's wrong. The correct answer is nobody.
Very
Nobody
cool.
but you is that pointlessly cruel.
Now, after this is Bridge the Gap. A map that has a strategy called door skip that I have a little bit of trouble getting. So if we don't get it, or Lucky Door, which is a whole nother story.
That way future generations
Looks like we were close, but we didn't get it. You can, if you're good at bunny hopping, you can jump right past that door and enter the level while this is happening. Lucky Door is when you press against the center of this door, and there's one animation out of, I think it's like 13, 14, or 15. That'll put you all the way into the level before this dialogue ends. However, unfortunately, we did not get either of those, so we get to hear Wheatley talk at us for another minute or so.
Shut it right down. Like, bird, bird.
So this is a great time for donations or anything you got.
Okay, that's probably the bird.
Yeah,
that made the eggs.
absolutely.
Livid. Okay, look, the point is, we're gonna break out of here. All right, very soon. I promise. I promise.
Good time
I
just
just
to
have to
tell you a
figure
little
out
bit
how.
about ourselves,
So,
right?
break us out of here.
Midwest Speed Fest is a Minnesota-based organization that has been hosting speedrun marathons since 2015. In the summer and the winter, we partner with 2D Con and VGM Con, respectively, to help raise money for their chosen charities and bring even more entertainment to their conventions. In the spring and fall, we host online events also in support of charity. So far, we've raised over $20,000 for various charities, and we hope to see that number to continue to grow exponentially with your support, which, as of right now, it already has. Consider subscribing to Midwest Speedfest, cheering bits. Any Twitch revenue we receive during the event will go towards Able Gamers. Of course, if you have Twitch Prime, or now known as Prime Gaming, I believe, you can subscribe for free.
Very cool.
That's you in 5 seconds. Good luck.
This is turret intro, where we're getting introed to the turrets. Just gonna navigate through these passages real quick, and if you don't make any saves, that is unfortunate, and you really should have. However, you can deal with these turrets pretty quickly. It's one of those quicker levels that's like kind of deceptively hard as a casual player. You think it's gonna be easy, and then it is just not. Upcoming here is laser relays,
To maintain a constant
where
testing
we are going to
cycle,
relay some
you may
lasers.
realize that
All of these
others
maps
will
kind of speak for themselves,
oxygen supply, so you may be
but there are a
confused
couple of
about the passage
optimizations with
time.
everything.
The point is, yesterday was your birthday. I thought you'd want to know.
And I'm just going to drop
You
this
know
cube.
how I'm going to live forever.
You do kind of just sling it to begin with, because we really want the dialogue to start as fast as possible, because it is quite a long dialogue.
More of a belated
Um,
birthday medical procedure.
Hang on.
Well, technically, it's a medical experiment.
So what
important is it's a present.
Laser Relays is all about is just relaying lasers. That dialogue, we want it to start early, so we kind of fling the cube a little bit
That jumpsuit you're wearing
to
looks
make sure all 3 are activated before we actually like make it as such, because the dialogue starts with just 1 tick. This is a damage boost right here in Turret Blocker. Runners of many games can be
What does an
pretty familiar with the concept of damage boosting. You get damage and then you boost.
It's a she.
Now, I did stub my toe, so it wasn't nearly as cool as it should have been. Stubbed my toe on a little piece of metal that the developers put in there. But,
A man and a woman.
gains you a little bit of speed, pushes you through that portal. Much faster way to do this level, because the intended way is you get on that faith plate and you slam yourself into a faith plate, and then you're up there, and that takes a while.
I have a surprise waiting for you after this next test. Telling you would spoil the surprise.
This is Laser vs. Turret. It is one of 2 of maps that don't have anything interesting in them. While it's true that this game is very interesting, you should play it, and it's actually really cool as a speed game. This map is really straightforward. You just kill the turrets, and then you move along. The same thing will happen with the next map, Hold a Rug, where instead of pulling a rug, you pull a light bridge from under a cube to make it fall onto a button. It's relatively simple, it's pretty fast, and it leads you into Chapter 4.
It says this next test was designed by one of Aperture's Nobel Prize winners. It doesn't say what the prize was for. Well, I know it wasn't for being immune to neurotoxin.
No, there we go.
I bet you think I forgot.
A little bit sketchy on the back end, but we got it there.
In fact, we're headed to your surprise right now. After all these years, I'm getting choked up just thinking about it.
So upcoming in Chapter 4 here, the first map here is Column Blocker. Now, this is a kind of consequential map. I'll preface this by saying at the end of this map, there's usually a cutscene. However, we skip that cutscene using a skip that we like to call Jerry Skip, Dane Skip, Elevator Skip number 3. Anything in between, we probably have it. You can call it what you want, and we don't discriminate. That being said, it's a tick-based trick, so it's basically RNG. It's not really RNG, but you need to know like which 60th of a second you're on, and there's no like real way to do that. Once I come over here, I'm going to shoot this portal into this gigantic portal helper. Whenever I need a good laugh, I do look at the Column Blocker portal helper. But what we're going to do is a pretty precise setup here. I'm going to go to a specific position just inside of the elevator, but not enough so that it closes. I'm going to line up with this right here. And we're just going to try and clip through this elevator. Now again, this is tick-based and basically RNG, but if we landed on the right tick, we'll just clip straight through the elevator. Because there's a laundry list of things that the source engine does to check whether or not you're in something, and the last thing it does is lose collision. So that saves about 30 seconds of cutscene and Wheatley talking at us again.
Well, you know the old formula. Comedy equals tragedy plus time. And you have been asleep for a while, so I guess it's actually pretty funny when you do the math.
This is laser chaining. You chain some lasers and you get done with it. Again, not very interesting, although optimized in the way that every level should be, where we're doing kind of tight portal shots through here, and then, oh dear, and then shooting through the back end here. Of course, normally you'd activate all 3 laser receptors here, but in this case we only activate 2 because that's what you need to open the door. Turrets don't matter because turrets are fake. You can just completely ignore them.
Federal regulations require me to warn you that
This is Triple Laser. It is the second recurrence, not resurgence, of the strategy known as the laser switch glitch, where if you wiggle hard enough, you can get the door to open and the dialogue to happen.
It was easy, really. You just have to look at things objectively.
That happened in Dual Lasers, but I was too busy explaining other things to explain the laser switch glitch in Dual Lasers. When all 3 of those are active, there's like a set little window where you can have all 3 of them active, and if you push against a door, even if that door is active for only 1 tick, which it basically is in that case, that door will open for you, because the game's engine does not want to squish you. That being said, and worth mentioning, in co-op, squishing your friends indoors is an intended mechanic, and I highly encourage you do so. Standing in that portal right there made this bridge appear early, so once the doors open, I can just bunny hop. And these are two very bunny hopping centric maps. There's a stair boost right here I can grab that allows me to just go over that railing. Unfortunately, I didn't manage to keep all my speed through there. And so once we finish that, then we're on to the next map, which is also pretty bunny hopping centric, but you'll see more wall strafing. But first we have to get through this turret section. Now normally you go around, but I'm fast, so we don't. You go through here. You can not kill this turret. Too much the chagrin of my Twitch chat, I do kill the turrets here just for safety. But you know, a pacifist category is not too far out of the works. That being said, I think it will be hard to do. So that was Escape and Jailbreak. I'm going to be turning the lights on here and making the game look frickin' ugly. This is so we can see in the upcoming section, because normally Wheatley follows you around with a flashlight, but Wheatley is slow, and so you can't really see. And so this is just an optimization so you can see as the viewer, and so I can see at my monitor. I'm going to go for a flashlight skip here. If I don't get it, that's alright. Flashlight skip skips this upcoming 10-second scene, where Wheatley is over there, I'm over here, I'm not touching any keys, and then once he turns on the lights again, we're suddenly all the way over where Wheatley is. I don't know, like, if he drags me across the... But we're all the way over here. How did we get over here, you know?
Oh, God, they told me that if I ever turn this flashlight on, I would die. Ooh.
Yeah.
It's dark down here.
But so, if I was playing normally, I would be in basically pitch black darkness right now, because you're not supposed to go fast. You're just supposed to wait for Wheatley to show his flashlight to you.
Of their replicas, all of them functionally indistinguishable from the originals.
But this is lit up in regular game. I just like having the lights on so I can see better.
Here's an interesting story. I like this. I almost got a job down here in manufacturing.
And then through here, it's just some more bunny hopping. Go down that conveyor belt, go through here. A little bit of portal excitement. You go bang, 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 and it's fun to do, and it's fun to see.
Oh, love them. Just the way they look. It's great. And their folklore, right.
And finally, using portals for instant travel to get all the way down here, turning the lights all the way back off, and heading into turret sabotage. Now, the interesting thing about turret sabotage, and I'll get to this in more detail in maybe 30 seconds or so, but the interesting thing about turret sabotage is that normally you would grab a turret from the turret section that we're about to enter and use that to stuff up the system and replace all the turrets with effective turrets. You can just shoot right over this, by the way. But we go over here. Normally you'd grab a turret from this part right here. I don't need him, so I can just toss him off the edge, because we're going to be doing another one of those pancake shots like earlier. This level used another one of these industrial doors, and there's a big old cutscene here normally. Like, we'd have to do like work to figure out where the turret went, and we'd have to wait for it and everything. So this pancake shot saves quite a bit. Not quite sure exactly how much, but it certainly does. But yeah, you can just shoot right through it, back up, keep on going. Pretty fun, honestly.
Sort of announcement before it opened, like a buzzer or an alarm of some kind, or like a hacker alert. I mean, you know, fair enough. The important thing is it's open, but it's just mentioned in the future. Bring your daughter to work.
Now, normally I would have my lights still on here, but it's not that dark for that long, and I think you live.
Embarrassing. I mean, I realize they're children, but still, no.
Now, normally, if you're going fast enough, you can actually go ahead of Wheatley. It's a little risky because he can get stuck inside of you, and then you'll slow down to about 10 speed and just be stuck inside Wheatley, and you can't do anything about it. In that case, I ran into a railing, and so I couldn't be faster than Wheatley, and so I just decided to not do that. This is neurotoxin sabotage. Important thing about this map, the entire map is on a cycle as soon as you start. So I have to kind of focus on my movement for a little bit, but as soon as that ends up, pretty okay. You're going to go past these big doors, you're going to go into this elevator, you're going to press a button, and you're going to start taking down the neurotoxin generator. Also, fair warning, spoilers for Portal 2 if you've not played Portal 2 before, and you don't want to see spoilers. Not your stream. Though we do want you to watch still. That's pretty good.
To distract from the spoilers, can I do a quick plug, or do we have time?
We will have time in about 5 seconds.
Perfect, you just let me know.
There is one chair in this game that you can pick up. It's this one. You can throw it off the edge if you want to. This is a 1-minute cutscene, so absolutely go nuts, Conception.
Well, perfect. Well, we were going to plug that we had just hit 35 sub points on the channel, which unlocked our 4th emote slot.
Incredible.
Then Mr. Shasta came in with 5 gift subs, so we were at 40. And guess who just happened to get one? You, my friend. You got one. You got a gift sub.
Very cool.
So we are at 40 gift subs now, which is great. Like we mentioned before, all of our Twitch revenue during the event is going direct to Able Gamers, so thank you folks so much for that.
That's very interesting. Thank you for the gift sub. I can't do like the Twitch sanctioned thank you for the and then whatever emote it gave you. But thank you for the gift sub. Helps me out a lot.
It goes down for miles. All sealed off years ago, of course. We should be getting close.
Now this is Two Bride. It's one of the most complicated levels in the game. You'll notice you have to do 64 like frame perfect inputs. You have to do a couple of really precise jumps and a lot of precise movement to get through this level properly. This is one where a lot of people reset, and you know it kills runs. It kills runs. It's consistent, but it kills runs if you don't do it properly. Now, that being as hard of a level as it is, this one is even harder. We come into here, and then we're basically locked into another 3-minute cutscene, where, you know, you sit here, and there's a little bit of interactivity where you can, like, try and catch Wheatley, so we'll try to be doing that, and we'll look at some turrets that explode. But other than that, this is the middle of Cutscene City. After this, there's not a lot of downtime. Well, and I say not a lot. There's still downtime. It's just not as much as this, where you sit here and wait for GLaDOS to be threatening, and you gotta, you know, we'll explain tricks as we get to them. But donate now, so you can get your stuff read in this cutscene or the next cutscene or the cutscene after that, yeah?
Yeah, if I have a second here, we're absolutely popping off in the chat with gift subs and subs.
Wow!
So I told you we were at 40. It looks like we are at 48 now. We've gotten some gift subs. Thank you to... Let me just highlight some people. Tempest Mask 1000, because I got that name right this time. The Sinak, who subbed and then gifted 5 subs. Thank you so much. We are, yeah, absolutely popping off. Again, all of that revenue is going directly to Able Gamers during the event, so thank you so much for that. And let's get this incentive met while we're talking about it. $40 more. We're gonna hear Sing of the Credits theme to Portal 2.
I gotta get my
let's go.
Gotta get my falsetto warmed up.
Oh, that's me they're talking about.
Because we're not talking like the Jonathan Colton song. We're talking the opera bit at the end of the. So if you want to see me make a fool of myself, absolutely go nuts.
Are you ready to start the procedure?
No.
Oh, yes, she is.
No.
Stalemate detected. Transfer procedure cannot continue.
Yes.
Unless a stalemate associate is present to press the stalemate resolution button.
Leave me in. Don't press it.
Not so fast.
Yep, and that's like the only minor trick is you can just jump over those panels if you strafe hard enough. What we're heading into right here is elevator skip. Or, you know, McPedro glitch if you're from the very, very old days. This was one of the first skips that was discovered in Portal 2, and it is properly gigantic. Normally when you play this game through casually, you get through this cutscene and then, like, because you've seen the amount of cutscene we've gone through. imagine this and then plus 2.5 more minutes of cutscene. It's a really useful skip. It's one of the first ones that runners learn because it is just so big.
It's not just me, right? I am bloody massive, aren't I? Oh, right, yeah, the escape lift. I'll call it now. There we go. Lift call.
Okay,
So-
to jump in here real quick?
Yeah, go
Still
nuts.
there, or-
No, go
Okay,
crazy.
well, very quickly, we hit that 50 sub goal.
Woo!
Thank you so much for putting us over the edge. Let me just pull up the name there. Wow, that's a tough one. Hold on. Tony Abhat. I'm sorry if I butchered that. Thank you so much for putting us over the edge and gifting those last subs. That is all of the emote slots unlocked for Midwest V-Fest.
Yep. So, you know how I was talking about skipping 2.5 minutes of cutscene? Turns out that you just get to look at another 1 minute 11 second cutscene. But at least it skips the 2.5 minutes that's before this. So in total, if you were playing this casually, you'd have to sit through a lot of just play acting. A little bit of talk about elevator skip while we're at it. Elevator skip works because there's a little piece of the trigger that's just peeking out at the top of the elevator. So when we get on top of it and we go into that specific corner, Wheatley stops what he's doing and he goes into his cutscene dialogue, which is spectacular because we're not in the elevator, but he thinks we are, you know, just owing to the amount of moronness that he is. The cutscene that we did just skip does actually talk a lot about the backstory of Wheatley, so if you haven't played this played it casually, he is, he's not just a moron, he's the product of the greatest minds of a generation working together with the express purpose of building the dumbest moron who ever lived. And we just put him in charge of the entire facility. Now, this is underground. Unfortunately, we're not going to be having the game look nice for a lot of this map. I do have to turn the lights on for a pretty long shot a little bit later. And I do have to, unfortunately, make the game look ugly. But, small sacrifices for Portal 2. And then this is just a lot of portal movement. You can shoot this top surface from up here, which saves you from going through like the big old maze that's been made for you. And then you can portal down here using portals for instant travel. And then we're going to use portals for instant travel one more time. If I stand here, I can just shoot that off in the distance, and it saves us from having to walk down that entire big old corridor. Now, this is what I like to call door skip number 2. Because everything, if you look at it, is just a door skip or an elevator skip if you think about it, and like something in between. But this door is opening. We shot a portal all the way up there, so we can just kind of jump around it. And unfortunately, we don't get to deal with the comedy gold that is this tiny door, but it is, you know, we go through it. We go through to Cave Johnson, where, funnily enough, we do not actually meet Cave Johnson. He'll talk at the end of the level, but we do not meet him until the next level, and we don't even meet him like properly here. He doesn't introduce himself. He just kind of shows up rudely, like that one guest at your party that just won't leave. But you didn't invite him. I mean, but to be fair, J.K. Simmons as Cave Johnson is incredible. Again, the voice acting and the writing in this game is just impeccable. That's another portal stand. What I'm going to be doing here is I'm going to shoot a portal right here, and oh no, I screwed that up. Let's load a save. Let's see where this puts us. Oh, it's not terrible. Save right here. Put a portal right there. And then, this is a scripted momentum trigger. I just kind of walked into that. We'll talk a little bit more about scripted momentum triggers later in Chapter 7. But that scripted momentum trigger just kind of launches you across, saving you from having to do, like, falling into that elevator shaft. Cave Johnson, now talking, we skipped the entire big old giant room where you actually, like, he's like, I'm Cave Johnson. Welcome to Aperture Science. You're here because we want the best, and you are it. Astronauts, war heroes, Olympians, what have you. And this is Repulsion Intro. It's kind of known for not being the greatest test in the world. Nothing against Cave Johnson. Did not get the button glitch there, so that's unfortunate. But this is a test that gives everyone trouble, not even just at the bottom, at the top as well. Didn't strafe hard enough, but what I'm going to be doing here is a cube clip. I'm sure you've seen it in other Source games. You just go right through the floor, you put a cube on your head, you go right through the floor. It's one of the most simple tricks in the book, and it's just a feature of the Source engine. Did not jump far enough, and there isn't enough gel on the side there, so I am going to be actually doing the default route. If you're good at bunny hopping and you jump far enough, you can use this piece of gel here to properly deal with getting that cube. But if you can't, you can just do the default route, and it's not that much slower. It's like a couple seconds, which a couple seconds is a big deal, but it's not that big of a deal.
We haven't entirely nailed down what element it is yet.
Next up, bomb flings. You fling some paint bombs. It is simple. There is a much faster way of doing it, though, that we've found out.
All these science spheres are made of asbestos, by the way. Keeps out the rats.
Once we get over here, we're going to be portaling all the way up, again using portals for instant travel like they're meant to be used, but just not like how they're meant to be used. If you portal over here, you can shoot a portal right here, shoot a blue right there, and press this button. Normally you'd go through and have this be a little bit faster, but that activates that button, and you can just skip the whole thing. You get a paint blob through, you jump on the paint blob, you get to the exit. You don't have to bother with the stairs that are over there.
That coffee we gave you earlier had fluorescent calcium in it so we can track the neuronal activity in your brain. There's a slight chance the calcium could harden and vitrify your frontal lobe. Anyway, don't stress yourself thinking about it. I'm serious. Visualizing the scenario while under stress actually triggers the reaction.
Fun to get a little rhythm into the portal shots. Something like that. I gotta practice for 7. This right here is Crazy Box. As you might assume, it's a little bit crazy, but there are ways that we can fix it to be slightly less crazy. What we're going to do, we're going to take a jump right here from the ceiling, and we're going to not actually land on these boards like I'm doing right now. And then we're going to try and land on that gel that's on the opposite side of this fence. And then we're going to stand on this speaker. Now, there's a portal surface right down there, and we can just shoot all the way to the end here. This saves about, I don't know, 15, 20 seconds. Important to note, you cannot just shoot right up to the top. If you shoot right up to the top, this door won't actually open. It's a little quirk of Portal, but it does make sure that you actually do the level. You'll note, I didn't actually have to put the blue gel on the cube to have it work properly, or to break the glass. I did a little bit of a crouch right there, and that pushed the cube enough so that the game was like, the cube is moving, time to break the glass, and so it just breaks the glass entirely, and you can just grab the cube right out.
Box, your stop. Out the front door. Parking lot. Car. Goodbye.
Parking lot. Car. Goodbye.
Can I do a quick plug?
Sure. Yeah, this is Potatoes.
Just a quick one. Just a quick one. I just want to make sure we get this donation met. We're getting closer and closer to the end, and I want to see it happen. $40. That's it. $40. Let's get it met.
That's like 2 18s and a 4.
That was quick math. I'm impressed. Good work.
That
I had to
was-
think about if that
yeah.
actually worked out.
It's one of my strong suits. I play Portal 2 after all. After missing that the first try because of how funneling works, we're gonna go into the back half of Potatoes here. Nothing much, just skipping another 1.5 minute cutscene. Normally it'd go up top into the big old room that holds the potato, but we're just gonna skip that. It's not that hard. You could probably do this on your own time. You just got to jump through that portal, right? We're entering Chapter 7, which is the realm of the speed gel. Now, we talked about the blue gel. That's the jumpy one. This is the speed gel, where, funnily enough, we're not using the speed gel at all. So, we're not going to use it. We're not going to bother with getting any kind of gel. We're just going to go straight to the end. There's that seam shot right there. That is, in part, thanks to the devs, because they left a little seam there, but you do have to aim pretty precisely. If you hit me up on Discord or anyone else in the Portal 2 community Discord server, which, speaking of, shout out to the Portal 2 community speedrunning Discord server. But if you hit up anyone in there, they will probably teach you about that seam shot. This is prop flings. Again, we're not going to be using the speed gel at all. There was an old route that did require you to use the speed gel, but we're going to do some quick science here. Just put the gel on that ramp. We're going to line up just with this pipe here. And we're just going to mash the scroll wheel hard enough that it stacks every jump input. This is a weird quirk of how Source functions. I feel like I'm going to have to reline this up because I don't think I shot it correctly. There we go. Maybe. Nope. Really weird. Once you get it there, it's probably good. No, so what's supposed to be happening right about now is we're supposed to be launching all the way across the map. Now, obviously we aren't doing that. I don't know if it's because I'm not scrolling hard enough. See, there we go.
In case you're interested, there's still some positions available for that bonus.
All I gotta do is complain about it, and then the strat works. It's just how it is, like, all the time.
Banging rocks together here, we know how to put a man back together. So that's a complete reassembly.
Now, we're coming into Conversion Intro, which is a big deal map, in part because there's a recently discovered strat. We'll start with the original, Lemon Skip. You guys were all hype about the lemons earlier. Unfortunately, we're going to be skipping Cave Johnson's rant on them. My good friend MSushi100 has a really good video on why this works, how it works, when it was discovered. But Lemon Skip was originally discovered by Kersey Howe. Lemonade Skip was originally discovered by Lathel and Taggy Tactics. And this optimization of Lemonade Skip was found by The Vug and I during a recent Twitch stream of his. So it's gone through a bit of a journey to get here. What we're going to be doing is we're going to be doing a big ol' super portal. We're going to be doing a little bit of precise lineup, and then just... Come on. Oh, did I not get stuck? That's crazy. I'm sure I can still find this, so I'm going to just line up again. We're going to be... We disabled the scripted momentum trigger here. Man, I gotta move this portal correctly. We disabled the scripted momentum trigger. So, when we shoot these super portals, we're not going to get launched up into the air. Right now, we're building up speed. We're going to hit 3,000, and then we're going to go flying. Now that gets us up here, and the entire level is in there. And so we just skipped the entire thing. Unfortunately, Cave Johnson does not talk about the lemons. He does not even mention the lemons. But fortunately for you lemon heads, Potatoes does mention the lemons in 3 gels. So at least we'll see that there. little bit of a longer setup than it usually is, but Lemonade skip, which is what that was, that saves about, I want to say it's like 45 seconds to 55, maybe a minute over the previous faster strategy, which was doing a reportal in the level. And as fun as reportals are, you can't, they're not as fun as a super reportal. And what I'm doing here is I'm getting on this railing, and we're going to do what's called a stuck launch. Now, this is only used with, like, blue gel and such, but you get stuck and then you launch. In short, this is because the game's engine handles falling speed by how long you've fallen, but not by how far you've fallen. This enables us to gain, like, massive amounts of speed very, very quickly, like, at the same velocity at which we would be falling. And so... oh, missed it. And we're gonna do a second one right here, and you'll see it. But a stuck launch is really helpful in this map and almost zero others. There's one in Crazy Box that you can do, but even that is ridiculously annoying. So I'm gonna save it here, and I'm gonna do the second stuck launch of 3 gels. Or I'm going to miss it entirely because I didn't press A hard enough. There we go. Oh, that's the roof. My save is not, save's not, slow enough. Gotta wait for it to come down, I guess. I mean, not I guess. I know I have to wait for it to come down. But, thought that was gonna be a lot later than it was. Anyway, you can just skip this whole thing. There's also a route variant where you can do a super reportal from the floor of this, and there's also a route variant where you can use the tube of blue gel to be to act as a little bouncing mechanism against the pipe that's next to it, because the Valve devs thought, what would happen if we put blue gel inside the pipe, and it turns out you bounce off of it. But so now we're heading into Chapter 8. This is Chapter 8 of 9. And it's gonna be home to some game-breaking stuff. So if you're not paying attention, probably you might want to. This one is pretty rudimentary, but it's pretty fun to do. And I'm sure I can hear them making... I can see chat in my head making the jokes already, but I mean, can anyone explain cube throw? Can anyone do it?
That's funny, it's funny because we've been at this for 12 hours and you haven't solved it either.
What we're going to be doing here is the cube throw. You've seen it 1,000 times before, probably on some Twitch clips compilation. There's a cube right here. That's spectacular. I did not get it onto the button because I aimed it improperly. Gotta throw it a little harder. Gotta give it a little oomph. This is kind of important in terms of being a skip, because this door being open means nothing in regular game, because behind us a panel appears that blocks the entire, blocks the whole door. You can't get into it for about a minute or so. And so when you think about that, that's a minute that you could be spending doing something else, getting like a snack break or something. During the single segment days of Portal 2, if you missed that, I thought it was always fun to watch what runners would do. My personal favorite and what I do is I make a little pyramid with the cubes that are on the floor, and I put them on top of the panel. But you can make art, you can run around, you can do I don't know if anyone's counted, but I think it's like 23 laps at the place, with walking.
Okay, new tests. Gotta be some tests around here somewhere.
Would I be able to sneak in a few donations here, or do you need a few minutes?
Very quickly, yes.
Alright, well, you just let me know when to stop. Triple X Gamer donates $10 saying, was going to donate to Tony Hawk's Underground 2, but I need to hear Bass Driven sing. We also have Rilla Bell here with a $20 donation. No comment, but thank you so much for that. And a $1 donation from Tempest Mask 1000 saying Base Driven is killing the Portal 2 run enough to make GLaDOS jealous. Me thanks. But most importantly, I want to hear someone sing the credits theme, and I'm sure that if we each donate $1, we will make it happen. I'm counting on you, chat. $9 more. Let's get it done.
Alright, $9 more. And this is maybe something very interesting that you've not seen before. This is the crouch flying glitch, or CFG for short. The game has 2 hitboxes for handling your player. One is for physics, and one is for everything else. And so, because of those 2 hitboxes, the game has an upper cap of 2 on the amount of funnels you can be in. When we crouch inside a funnel, that counter is updated to 2. But the... Hang on, I gotta do this left. Gotta fly over there, and I forgot to make a save. There we go. Okay, cool. But the way the game handles leaving funnels is it just subtracts 1 from your counter. Because normally you're just in 1 funnel. So when you crouch out of a funnel, you can go flying. What I have right here is a standing crouch state, which means it's kept through maps. And so this one will only stop if I go into a funnel, which I'm going to be trying very carefully not to do here. The old strat was to get crouch fly in this level and do the previous 2 actually correctly. Of course fast, but, you know, more proper. And so I'm just kind of flying over this gap. This is not, like, this is part of the game. You can do this as a casual player, if you feel like it.
And there we go.
Again, hit up someone in the Portal 2 community Discord server, and we'll probably be happy to teach you. Okay, I was not against the door. Let's see where that save puts me. Oh, it's fine. That's cool. So, this is just a little bit of a safety strat. The funnel's in place there, so we can throw the cube up there. You don't have to have the funnels there, because Franken turrets are not the most well-coded objects in the game. But, because, like, they stick to walls, they'll stick to buttons without a funnel. They're whack little objects. And this is Polarity. This is the last of our 4 crouch fly maps. This is a funnel, and I'm gonna get in it, and now I can bunny hop around again. Franken turret's just broken as anything. In my PB, I have 22 seconds of time save because it just got stuck on the ceiling, and didn't come back down, so I had to reload a save 3 times. So now that I can bunny hop, I'm going to be doing a pretty interesting strat here in Funnel Catch. This is the Portal Cut or Great Shot, which I've just not done the Pika Portal correctly, but this is interesting because we've just put a portal on this grate. Now, obviously you're not supposed to put a portal there, but we can because of the way the game handles portals. Give me 1 second, I gotta go. This is a longer dialogue, so we can deal with it. But the game checks in a little X to see if you can have a portal on a surface. And it's a kind of a small X, but the way that that panel is like formatted and at that specific angle, we can utilize that small little X and shoot at just the right place to manage a portal on top of it. The strat here, again, you could learn this as a casual player. I wouldn't recommend it because it requires a little bit of practice, and when I mean a little bit, I mean like you gotta learn how fast things drop. But there is a specific spot in the middle where if you press the button for the cube, and you get on the faceplate, you can just grab it in midair without having to deal with any of the turrets. And again, turrets are fake and they're not real, so you can just walk right in front of them. At least in that level. Now this is going to be the second recurrence of the... And that always trips me up, because I press W and I go backwards from my perspective. And so now we have a standing crouch fly again. I just autopiloted to the easy route to do this. You can bonk off this pipe to get your horizontal velocity down, which is an important thing I did forget to mention. That the only way you can manage horizontal velocity is by bonking yourself on the head with a cube or ramming yourself into a downward sloping surface. It's really very interesting to deal with when you get stuck with it, or when you have it for too long. I have always thought that the crouch fly is an incredible glitch to have, until you have to start dealing with vertical momentum and velocity, because it really is that complicated. So I'm just going to skip this right here because I'm flying. You'll note I'm flying a lot faster than this funnel right now, and so this is actually faster than just going into that little cavern or whatever. These stairs are transparent and not real, so you can go right through them. And you just land all the way down here pretty fast, and there's a trigger down here that activates these panels, so you do have to go back a little bit, but it's not that bad. This is prop catch. We're going to be getting crouch fly 2 more times in the game. This is one of them. I do kind of have to go speed gaming mode right here, but that's just me. Other runners can do this just fine. I just need to have a little bit more concentration while doing this. You can sit in the side of this funnel here, and there's a certain point at which you can't leave your place, but Peabody's over there. Peabody, of course, a character in the co-op mode, which I recommend you play with all of your friends. And so we get all the way over here, we jump, and the reason I'm shooting at this wall is because the ending dialogue is... Okay, I stepped in the elevator and I didn't think I stepped in the elevator. But if you don't trigger that ending dialogue, because it looks for a funnel on that side, and for you to be on that platform. So if you trigger that, we end about right here. But if we don't trigger that, we get what's called an awkward elevator. Thankfully, I don't think I'll get any of them, because I don't think there's a lot of opportunities for me to have any. But that being said, you never know. I forgot I can bunny hop. This is the last map we're going to get crouch fly in. And it's very cool. Because this crouch fly that we just got... I'm going up, and that's not spectacular, but I'll live. This crouch fly that we just got, we're going to be keeping it all the way into Finale 3, and then leaving it behind when we get to Finale 4, which is the end of the game. But so we have 4 more levels to go.
I'll bet you're both dying to know what your big surprise is. Well,
Any time at all for some donations, or need some quiet time?
Oh, go nuts. This is a flying section.
Well, perfect, because I have some good news for you. You're going to have to warm up those vocal cords, because you're going to be singing.
Very cool.
Yandu Poppins, y'all, donated $9 saying, "This is a triumph."
You know, wrong song, but I like the spirit.
Yeah, the spirit is there, exactly. Different game, but we appreciate it. Monster860 also donated $9 saying, "Sing, ooh." I have Newt donating $1 saying, "Sing, my angel, sing." And then Triple X Gamer coming back as well for $10 saying, "Want to have my cake and eat it too, so here's another 10 for Tony Hawk's Underground 2. That rhymes. And they said that the cake was a lie.
Okay. So, we've just finished our major flying section. We're going to do a little bit more flying and a little bit more of interesting strategies. This right here is a little bit of a tight squeeze right now. Oh, okay, I got it. Good job. So we're just going to be going right around this crusher thought I didn't go fast enough, but I did. And then we're just gonna go into Finale 2 here. Finale 1 was interesting because of the way that it handles flying. You have to use a lot of that geometry and a lot of that creative thinking in order to get anywhere useful. And you have to fly at a very specific level, which thankfully we have a setup for, to hit that trigger that starts that whole, you know, dramatic music and what have you.
I'm still holding all the cards, and guess what? They're all full houses. Never actually played cards, meaning to learn. Anyway, new turret, not defensive.
Alright, so now what we're gonna do is we're gonna do some more flying. And geometry manipulation, of course, because it's fun to watch, fun to do, and I'm sure you're all getting sick of it. We're gonna ramp up this bridge right here. We're gonna land down here. And right when you thought it was over, we're just gonna jump right here and we're gonna do some more flying. There is a slightly faster way to do this than the way that I'm about to do. You go across and you risk death, but this involves risking no death and is not actually that much slower. Where you fly up and you bonk yourself off that ridiculous triangle, and then you can manage to get all the way back up here. So, this is Finale 3. It's the last map of the game. We will have Crouch Fly, so be prepared to say goodbye to it. However, we will have it for just a little bit more. Going into here, we're gonna make sure we don't touch this door because of a thing called slow fly. If we touch the door, we can't, like, turn, we can't, like, gain speed, at least very well. We can, it's just requires some effort. So now I'm up here, I'm going to be gaining velocity, and I'm going to bounce off of these wires that shouldn't have collision, but they still do. And then I'm going to jump up here to the ceiling, and I'm just going to aim right for where that funnel is. Of course, like we said earlier, that's going to make me lose the crouch fly. So now I can freely bunny hop, and coming into Finale 4 right here, we're going to hit this trigger on the floor and quickly look up right to where we need to be. And of course, this is the final Wheatley boss fight. Again, even though I said it earlier, warning spoilers for Portal 2. And so here he is in all of his monstrous glory. He's gonna talk at us for about a minute or so. So if you've got anything interesting to say, please go ahead and say it. Otherwise, if you don't, I don't blame you.
Well, we always have some interesting stuff to say here. Yes, continue getting those donations in. We actually have some brand new bid wars and incentives open. We'll talk a little bit more in depth about them when the intermission comes. But go ahead and take a look at our incentives and bid wars and get the money in towards some brand new stuff.
Alright. Well, we're getting into the thick of this boss fight. We still haven't done anything. We're gonna stand behind this pipe because that is the first step of doing this. He's gonna throw some bombs at us, and that's gonna explode this pipe. And that's gonna spew gel, like, everywhere. Including the parts of the floor where it didn't actually hit.
That sounded real. No, that was actually an impression of you.
Actually,
because you just
fell into my trap.
My brilliant trap. Just then.
Yep, so he's gonna throw some more bombs at me. It's not very nice, and honestly, for the amount that they hurt you, you can't really call them bombs, because if you get hit with one, you only, like, you don't even die. This is the Space Core, everyone's favorite friend. Or, you know, least favorite if you don't like annoying cores. He talks about space, he even yaps about space while he's up there. The next phase, we have to shoot under Wheatley. Because he puts all of his panels up there because he thinks he learned. He did not learn. He was a sucker. Upcoming right here is Rick the Adventure Sphere. He's the only one that's not labeled a core. and he talks to you and tries to swoon you, like to be all suave and move you over and everything. He's chill. If you have the game wait for long enough, he will say something about "you've been a thorn in my side for long enough," which Wheatley will also then say during the ending cutscene. However, oh, that's not good at all. I'm just gonna go for the default route. Normally we do a very, very cool fling there. However, we can't do an ultra cool fling because I screwed that up. So what we're gonna do is we're just gonna have the fact core. He's honestly my favorite. He talks about how if you ate a lot of hot dogs, you would probably die, and if you stacked enough elephants to the moon, they would probably die, and if you put a blue whale on top of the basketball court, the game would get canceled. Stuff like that. Nikola Tesla invented push-ups. He patented it under the name Tesla size. Baseball legend Babe Ruth once won in a hot dog eating contest and then died of hot dog poisoning. It's things like that. It's the little things, Upcoming is maybe early Moonshot and maybe not. I'm going to try it not more than once. If I get it, I get it, and if I don't, I don't. And I didn't because I held crouch, but that's okay. So time's going to come up in about 10 seconds here. It's been nice knowing you all. I mean, of course, we'll talk a little bit more while we're waiting for the opera song to come on. But until then, you know where to find me. And that's time. See, I can still screw with the brightness in here. You turn the lights on, you can turn them off. Makes the game look a little better out here, I guess, because it's on the moon.
Let go! I'm still connected! I can pull myself in! I can still fix
Not that big of a difference, just a gigantic plot twist.
Are not coming back.
Oh no! Change your plans! Hold on to me! Tighter! Grab me!
So, while we're waiting for the big giant co-op scene to end out here, I would say the co-op scene. It's because Atlas and Peabody pull you out and revive you in the elevator or whatever. While we're waiting for it, I will give a couple of shout-outs. One, to the Portal 2 Community Speedrunning Discord server. Very cool. Join it if you feel like. Secondly, to my Twitch page, you know where to find me. If you want to hit me with that follow, that would be spectacular. Other places you can find me, Twitter, it's @BassDriven. Spotify, it's @BassDriven. Wikipedia, it's @BassDriven. It's all there. And it's been a great run. Somewhat more importantly, Kurzyhow for finding things. Tanger Tubi, even though we're not supposed to talk about him anymore.
Solution to a problem is usually the easiest one. And I'll be honest, killing you
Sigma for
is
teaching me
hard.
stuff, I guess. I don't know.
You know what my days used to be like?
Can't even for making a spectacular tutorial if you want to get into speedrunning Portal 2 and this amazing speed game. I would recommend you start with that. There's some update videos for recent stuff, and you can get some pretty good times with what's there.
You win. Just go.
Ah!
It's
Ah.
been fun.
Ooh!
Don't come
Gotta get the O voice in there. Here, for this we'll volume 0.3, just it's a little louder for you. This part is their solo. I will start singing once the opera hits. By the way, incredible job making that donation goal. I didn't think 80 was gonna get got for singing, but here I am. I know it's a little difficult for me. Also, welcome to Detroit. Thank you so much, everyone. It's been spectacular.
Absolutely. Thank you for the excellent run and maybe even better singing. That was incredible.
Yeah, thank you much. Keep donating. It's ever important that you keep donating. Great cause, great people. I will be submitting my second run of donations maybe later tonight. But make sure you keep those rolling in. What are we at for a total right now?
We are looking at $12.89.
That is incredible.
Absolutely.
Keep up the good work. I feel like this donation goal is going to get smashed in 3 days, not even the full marathon. Like, we're going to get there, and it's just going to be really, really fun.
That would be absolutely incredible, but these people do not surprise me anymore with their generosity.
Yeah. Anyway.
But thank you so much for running.
Thank you guys so much. Coming up, what is it, Half-Life 2? Alex, how?
Yeah, Half-Life 2. We're halfway through our Valve block, as I put it.
Very cool. Alright, well, that should be very fun to watch, very fun to look at. Until next time.